Yo, what's going on, you guys? Your boy Devon Terrell in raw form, and welcome to another Help Me Devon raw tutorial. And today, in this Help Me Devon raw tutorial, I'll be showing you guys how to get your vocals and beat to sit properly in your mix. Now, granted, I have done a tutorial like this in the past, but it's been time for some updating, and I have some new tricks that I can show you guys, basically to help you make better decisions. Now, when it comes to getting your vocals and the beat to sit properly in a mix, I'm going to show you one technique that I personally use to always accomplish this. Let's get right to it. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to play you this song. It's one of my own songs called Honeymoon Phase. Listen to the relationship of the mix. Just listen to the mix in its totality.
This situation is so brand new, yeah. I want to tell everyone about you. I can't get enough of you, yeah. But we both know this feeling, cause it isn't the first time that you had somebody hit you with that good morning text when I'm laying with you.
Okay, cool. So you hear the mix. You can hear the vocals, you can hear the kicks, you can hear the snares. Of course, this is my own mix, so I'm gonna say, oh, the mix sounds great. But you can hear, and if you're into how this mix sounds, I can show you how to accomplish something in this place where the vocals feel like they sit really well with the music and have a great relationship. And this goes for any genre. Do not get discouraged just because this is an R&B record. This is a universal idea that I'm going to give you. Now, before we go any further, I'm gonna ask you guys to comment and subscribe and like this video to keep this channel going and keep me uploading videos, etc. You can also make sure you visit helpmedevon.info to get some of our templates, vocal chains, presets, etc. All kinds of goodies for pretty much all DAWs. Now, let's get right back to it. So the thing that I always do when it comes to getting these vocals and the beat to sit together is this. The first three elements of any song that I attack, that I reach for first, is the kick, the snare or clap, and the vocal, lead vocal. If I can get those three elements to sit properly in my mix, everything is so much easier. And I genuinely mean this. When it comes to most modern genres, the three probably most important things, the kick, the snare, and the vocal. That's really what all the feeling as far as the rhythm and the punchiness kind of live. So I attack these three things first. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that really simple and really fast, okay? So first things first, that vocal is mixed, right? So let's do it like a real situation. Let's bring in a vocal, same vocal, but instead, let's take that vocal and make it completely raw, meaning no plugins on it or anything like that. Just basically no compression, no EQ, just a vocal that basically sits up there and is raw. So check out, this is the raw vocal as far as the recording is concerned.
This situation is so brand new, yeah. I want to tell everyone about you. I can't get enough of you, yeah. But we both know this feeling, cause it isn't the first time that you had somebody.
So you hear that vocal. Basically, the vocal is dynamic. Like most of you, when you record into your DAWs, that vocal that has loud parts and quiet parts and loud parts and quiet parts. This is why you struggle to get your vocals to sit properly in your mix, because the first thing I like to attack is I like to reach for that vocal and get it more concise, get those peaks under control, so that when I bring up the kick and the snare, it's not like the vocal is just hovering either way above or way under. This is the issue. This is one of the biggest issues. Try to go to your vocal and attack some of the problems first, not a full-on mix of your vocal, but just level it. Just get it to sound more concise. Control some of those peaks. Give me a little bit of EQ to clean up the bottom end, and give me a little compression to control those peaks. First and foremost, stay with me, watch this. So, I got this vocal, and now let me find one of the parts of it that are pretty loud, which looks like right around here. This is the dynamic spot where it looks like it gets really quiet, but it also is pretty loud at the same time, right here. So listen to this right quick. Let's take a listen.
But we both know this feeling, cause it isn't the first time that you had somebody hit you with that good morning text when I'm laying with you and I tell you.
Cool, so that is a loud part followed by somewhat of a quiet part. So we're gonna use some EQ to clean up the muddiness, and we're gonna use some compression to actually level out the vocal. So let's do that right now. So first and foremost, let's open up one of our EQs, And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do some very standard things. I'm gonna get some more clarity out of vocal by reducing some of the low end, and then I'm gonna use some compression in order for me to control the peak. So I have a more level vocal, okay? So this is what I'm gonna do first. So take this, let's roll off some bottom end.
But we both know this feeling, cause it isn't the first time that you had somebody hit you with that good morning sex. When I'm laying with you and I tell you it's more than sex, do we mean everything we say? Is this the real thing or just a phase? But we both know this feeling, cause it isn't the first time that you had somebody hit you with that good morning sex. When I'm laying with you and I tell you it's more than sex, do we mean everything we say? Is this the real thing or just a phase?
Okay, real quick EQing, nothing crazy. Took out some of that 3K frequency, which is basically the pain frequency, and rolled off some of that bottom end to get more clarity. Listen to what it sounds like back and forth. Check this out.
But we both know this feeling, cause it isn't the first time that you had somebody hit you with that good morning sex. When I'm laying with you and I tell you it's more than sex.
So we have a little bit more clarity out of the vocal. Nothing crazy there. Rolled off some of that low end and went to the top end at that 3K frequency to pull out some of that stuff as well that was bothering me, pain frequency. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna roll on over to a de-esser. Now, when it comes to attacking vocals, my biggest thing is I always like to attack problems first. That's what I always like to do, attack the problems first. So I'm getting rid of some problems that I'm hearing. And these are pretty much typical issues that I usually hear within my vocals that I like to get rid of. So let's go on over to one of my favorite de-essers, which is the R-de-esser. And then let's go to one of my favorite presets. So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a de-esser and I'm going to be attacking not the high end, but rather that 3 kilohertz pain frequency that annoys me. I'm gonna try to limit that frequency before I do anything else. It'll help me get a more level, concise vocal. Check this out.
But we both know this feeling, cause it isn't the first time that you had somebody hit you with that good morning sex. When I'm laying with you and I tell you it's more than sex, do we mean everything we say? Is this the real thing or just a phase?
Great, so it's holding that really 3K harsh frequency a lot. Check this out, bypassing it back and forth.
But we both know this feeling, cause it isn't the first time that you had somebody hit you with that good morning sex. When I'm laying with you and I tell you it's more than sex, do we mean everything we say? Is this the real thing or just a phase?
So you see, when I have it engaged, it actually just helps to combat that and brings it down a little bit and controls that 3 kilohertz frequency, giving us a more level vocal. The peaks are not hitting out as much. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add compression. And really what I'm doing with this compressor right here is I'm doing this to get level. I'm really getting this to get it louder and to not really say control, or yes, control the peaks, but I'm also doing it to actually bring it up in level so that it can be matched with the kick and the snare and things at that level. So what I'm gonna do is, because I wanna really make sure that with this first compressor, I keep my transient information in my vocal so that I can make decisions later on to control those things a little bit more. So basically, I'm just trying to get a little bit of control over my peaks, but at the same time, still let enough transient information through so that it still sounds strong with the vocal. Okay, so now let's find it. I'm gonna try to get up like negative 10 dB of gain reduction on this so I can bring that stuff up. Listen close.
But we both know this feeling, cause it isn't the first time that you had somebody hit you with that good morning sex. When I'm laying with you and I tell you it's more than sex, do we mean everything we say? Is this the real thing or just a phase?
Okay, cool. So what I did was I put an extremely slow attack and an extremely fast attack. Now, I know some people in the comments before have said, hey, your attack is all the way to the left. Yes, on the 1176 from Waves, it is the 1 is the slowest setting. And I know that's very confusing, but just know for your DAW, the slowest attack and the fastest release. That's what I like to set it as for my first compressor, just so I can get some level out of that vocal. So listen close.
But we both know this feeling, cause it isn't the first time that you had somebody hit you with that good morning sex. When I'm laying with you and I...
Okay, so it's much louder. The peaks are somewhat a little bit more controlled. And now I have a vocal that I feel like I can put into the mix and actually match with levels now. So now that I've done and fixed a little bit of those problems, now I feel better about trying to get this to blend into my mix. And the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over to my kick, my snare, and my vocal. Those are the three things I'm gonna do. Why did I just attack the vocal first? I know that my kick is probably pretty compressed already from Splice or wherever the producer got it from. So I know that that kick is probably pretty consistent as far as level is concerned, compressed, EQ'd. My snare, same thing. I'm sure that it's probably compressed, EQ'd. So I'm taking that into account and I say to myself, well, why don't I take my vocals and compress, EQ just a little bit so that I can have a more concise leveling of all three of those signals, as opposed to having a vocal that really doesn't have any EQ or compression, and you'll never get that to fit into your mix because it's not controlled. There's frequencies that are overbearing. So check this out, and then I'll give you an idea of what I mean exactly. Stay with me. Okay, cool. So first things first, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring down all the faders. So all the faders down, boom. Let's even bring down the duplicate vocal as far as that raw vocal is concerned. So now what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna start to raise my kick, then I'm gonna start to raise my snare, and then you're gonna see me raise the vocal. I'm trying to find the level balance between those three. So let's check this out.
But we both know this feeling cause it isn't the first time that you had somebody hit you with that good morning text. When I'm laying with you and I tell you it's more than sex. Do we mean everything we say? It's just the real thing or just a phase?
Okay, now we have a mix with a kick, snare, and a vocal that I feel, hey, this is a great start. The kick and the snare and the vocal are sitting in a nice place. Now, what I like to typically do is I like for my snare and vocal, this is a rule of thumb for me, my snare and my vocal to be around the same place as far as how they feel, as far as volume is concerned. So listen to my kick and my snare and my vocals and check this out.
But we both know this feeling cause it isn't the first time that you had somebody hit you with that good morning text. When I'm laying with you and I tell you it's more than sex. Do we mean everything we say? It's just the real.
Cool. Now I feel like my snare and my vocal are hitting around the same place. Now I'm very happy. I'm going to show you guys now that I've done kick, snare, vocal, and I've got those level, I'm going to show you how easy it makes everything else in your mix. You're about to watch me do a fader mix right now off this right kick. So watch this closely.
But we both know this feeling cause it isn't the first time that you had somebody hit you with that good morning text. When I'm laying with you and I tell you it's more than sex. Do we mean everything we say? It's just the real thing or just a phase? But we both know this feeling cause it isn't the first time that you had somebody hit you with that good morning text. When I'm laying with you and I tell you it's more than sex. Do we mean everything we say? It's just the real thing or just a phase? But we both know this feeling cause it isn't the first time that you had somebody hit you with that good morning text. When I'm laying with you and I tell you it's more than sex. Do we mean everything we say? It's just the real thing or just a phase? But we both know this feeling cause it isn't the first time that you had somebody hit you with that good morning text. When I'm laying with you and I tell you it's more than sex. Do we mean everything we say? It's just the real thing or just a phase? But we both know this feeling cause it isn't the first time that you had somebody hit you with that good morning text. When I'm laying with you and I tell you it's more than sex. Do we mean everything we say? It's just the real thing or just a phase? But we both know this feeling cause it isn't the first time that you had somebody hit you with that good morning text. When I'm laying with you and I tell you it's more than sex. Do we mean everything we say? It's just the real thing or just a phase?
Guys, and in a nutshell, now we have a more level mix, and that is exactly how I like to get my vocals and the beat to sit properly in a mix. Once you attack that kick, that snare, and that vocal, the foundational elements of that music, everything else just falls into place so much easier by bringing up the faders. Now that you have this level mix as far as its image and stuff like that on the faders, now you can do your tweaks. Now you can say, oh, I want a little bit more of this bite out of the piano. Or you can say, oh, now I want more brightness out of the vocal. Oh, I need some more reverb out of this. Now you can make better decisions now that you have a fader mix. Now, granted, I would move around a little bit and listen to certain moments in the song that I need to match because they didn't show up when I had certain moments there. So for instance, I see big mic guitar here. I'll come over here and I'll press this up.
This situation is so brand new. Yeah. I wanna tell everyone about you. I can't get enough of you. Yeah. But we both know this feeling cause it isn't the first time that you had somebody.
And now I hear I can turn up the vocal just a little bit more. I can get a little bit more out of the vocal now. Listen.
This situation is so brand new. Yeah. I wanna tell everyone about you. I can't get enough of you. Yeah. But we both know this feeling cause it isn't the first time that you had somebody hit you with that good morning text. When I'm laying with you and I tell you.
Now it's feeling better. And now I know what you're probably thinking. Okay, well, how can you make this sit even better? Now that's where mixing comes in. But this is a general understanding of how to start that process and how to get it to sit. So what I would do is I would add things like this to afterwards. I would put more compression, more EQ, widen things up, even put reverbs and delays onto the lead vocal. Like, check this out.
This situation is so brand new. Yeah. I wanna tell everyone about you. I can't get enough.
All of these little tricks will start to come into play to help you blend this in with the vocals. So to review, remember, when it comes to this, or the technique that I just showed you as far as how I do it is, I like to go to the kick, the snare, and the vocal. Once those three elements are sitting correctly as far as how I feel in my mix, everything else comes up and it's much easier to make the decision of that's too loud, that's too much, because I know pretty much in my music that my vocal, my kick and the snare are probably the most transient and loudest things in my mix. So I know that everything else should kind of feel like a bed underneath those three elements. So go to your vocal first and foremost, make sure it's level. Sometimes it's recorded very well with the compressor on it in the whole nine. And basically you could take that vocal and you could just start to bring up those faders as far as the kick and the snare. But if you have a vocal, you listen to it and you notice, dang, this is extremely dynamic in the sense of it's quiet parts and there's loud parts. I need to get control of those things before I start to try to even begin to bring up any faders. That's important. Sometimes it's already done for you. There's already compressors and stuff like that there. So you would skip that step and basically just start to move up your vocals, your kick, your snare, and then the vocals, and then everything go up underneath there. So that technique, I hope, is very helpful. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe on this video. You can also visit helpmedevon.info at any time to download our presets, vocal chains, and a bunch of other great goodies that we have on the site, helpmedevon.info. Make sure you follow us at helpmedevon on the Instagram, and make sure you join our Discord community with a lot of aspiring engineers, musicians, and artists just like yourself, looking for information, answering questions, and just talking and networking every single day. I'll leave that description in the bio. So I hope you enjoyed that tutorial, and until next time, you guys.